Alright guys, welcome back for another Black Clover mobile video. In this video I am going to show you guys the updated kits from the Black Clover mobile Chinese version. From Clover Academy Mimosa Vermilion, he's a green healer. Clover Academy Asta, red attacker. The Wizard King, Julius Chrono, is a blue attacker. And leader of the Eye of the Midnight Sun, Licht, green attacker. Okay, then I guess we start with Mimosa first, cause she will release first. After Mimosa it is Asta. After Asta it's Julius. Yes, Julius is coming. I'm going to talk about him when we're at him. And after Julius it is Licht. Okay, then let's start with Mimosa. So she's a green healer. Everything is at max level. Skill 1. Grants the ally with the lowest HP ratio, HP recovery equal to 180% of own magic attack. And 45% chance to grant the SP +1 buff to an ally whose HP has been recovered. Okay. Now skill 2, it's an AoE heal. Grants all allies HP recovery equal to 200% of own magic attack. Grants an extended buff duration by 1 turn buff to a designated ally. Grants all allies an increased damage res level 2 buff for 2 turns. Now her ultimate, it's also AoE. Grants all allies HP recovery equal to 280% of own magic attack. Grants all allies an increased death level 2 buff for 2 turns. And she revives. After resurrection, restores the HP of a designated ally to 30%. Really nice. Now her passive restores 50% HP of an ally resurrected by a special skill. So it is going to be 80%. Now her ally +2 grants 100%, grants 10% reduced damage taken. Like that's they did not change this. They didn't change a lot. They changed only a little bit. Her skill page, the passive of her skill page changed, which is really good. It's really good now. So yeah, ally +5 when attacking grants a SP +1 buff. Partner skill, like with everyone, 35% chance to grant the partnered mage an increased attack level 1 buff for 2 turns. Now she has a unique combine with the other Asta, Clover Academy Asta. She grants the partnered mage an increased attack level 5 buff and 100% chance to grant the partnered mage an increased crit rate level 1 buff. Now they have a synergy passive, like if you're using them together in a team, they get increased crit damage 10% and increased max HP 15%. I don't know if this is like for the whole team or if this effect is only for Asta and Mimosa. If it's for the whole team, it's pretty decent because max HP 15%, but if it's only for them, it's okay. We take it. Now what she gets with her skill, with her skill page. Grants an extended buff duration by 2 turns, buff to a designated ally. So instead of 1 turn, it is going to be 2 turns. And now the skill page passive, when attacked, 30% or 100%. This means it is level 0 and maxed. Chance to grant yourself a 15% or 30% increased mobility buff. Like, this is insane. This is insane for a healer. And her level 125 passive is increased crit res 20% and increased HP recovery 15%. So she heals way more. Yeah, that's her. Let me know how you guys find her. In the comment section down below, yeah. Okay, then let's go over to Asta, which is coming after 7 days when Mimosa released. Okay, go. Clover Academy Asta, red attacker. Everything is at max level. So, skill 1. If an active buff is present, there is a 50% chance to deal an extra attack to inflict damage equal to 70% of attack. Grant self 2% increased damage dealt, attacks up to 5 times. Attacks a defender after granting 10% increased damage dealt buff. Okay. Now skill 2. Attacks after granting an increased attack level 1 or level 2 buff depends on if you have the skill page. If the skill page is on, it is level 2. If the skill page is not on, level 1. 100% chance to grant self a 20 or 30% increased mobility buff. Same. If the skill page is on, you get 30% increased mobility. If it's not on him, then 20%. And the last one, attacks a defender after granting 20% increased damage dealt buff. Okay, now his ultimate. Grants an extra turn when attacking an enemy whose HP is at 80% or above. Attacks a boss after granting a 30% increased damage dealt buff. Attacks a defender after granting 30% increased damage dealt buff. So he's dealing a lot of damage against defenders. I don't know why they did that, but I guess for PvE. We take it, right? Or because just defenders are very tanky, maybe that's why. But yeah, okay. Now his passive grants 4% and wait, one more thing. It's not only on him like that attacks defender. It's on every attacker. Like on Julius is the same, and on Licht it's also the same. Like I don't know why they put that. Should be because of PvE. Okay, the passive grants 4% increased attack at the start of each turn, attacks up to 3 times, and irremovable. Yeah, can't remove it. Now Ella plus 2 grants 20% increased damage dealt for 2 turns at the start of a wave, and max duped Ella plus 5 at the start of combat grants status ailment immunity for 1 turn. This means you can't stun him. Alright, now partner skill with every unit, 20% chance to attack after granting 20% increased damage dealt buff. And if your partner is Clover Academy Mimosa Vermilion, then he does, upon landing a crit, grant yourself an increased speed level 1 buff for 2 turns. We take it. I don't know if they have a special animation or not. We have to see when they release. The partner synergy is the same. Grimoire passive. Now the passive they changed. They changed it. It is weaker now. It has a restriction and it will take a time until it's at max. You have to attack 4 times, then it's this old passive again, but yeah, it is what it is. Attacks after granting a 3 to 6% increased crit damage buff, stacks up to 4 times. And the level 125 passive is increased crit rate 30% and increased all attack 20%. That's for Asta. Now we have Julius Nova Chrono. Alright, so Julius is a blue attacker. Everything is at max level. Skill 1, Accelerating Bullet. Inflicts a 5% reduced mobility debuff on an enemy. And upon landing a crit, grants all allies a 5% increased mobility buff. this did not change. Skill 2 is AoE. 50% chance to inflict the time stop debuff on an enemy for 2 turns and grants an increased speed level 1 buff for 1 turn. Now his ultimate inflicts a stun status ailment on an enemy for 1 turn, inflicts a 30% reduced mobility debuff on an enemy, attacks a defender after granting 50% increased damage dealt buff. Well, rip Asta at this point. Black Asta. And grants an extra turn upon killing an enemy. Alright. So they just added this in. And I think they buffed this. Now his passive is the same like the old one. For every 15 speeds, grants 3% increased damage dealt. Every turn grants time accumulation, takes up to 5 times, and time accumulation does increases damage dealt by special skills by 10%. Alright. His LR passive also did not change. LR plus 2, if defeated for the first time upon receiving damage, grants temporal reversal, triggered 1 time during battle, and it does restores to a state of 45% HP, and if it's max tube, 100% HP revive. Okay, now partner skill with everyone is 20% chance to inflict 20% reduced mobility debuff on an enemy, and he has a partner skill with the SSR normal Asta that we have right now, and it is AoE. It's really interesting. We might see a unique animation. Let's hope. But if not, then it is what it is. I don't know how you want to run him with the normal Asta, but yeah. But it is really good. Like, this partner skill is really good. Inflicts a 20% reduced mobility debuff on an enemy, guaranteed, and grants all allies a 30% increased mobility buff, guaranteed. Like, this is insane. But you have to play him with Asta. That's kinda I don't know. Okay. The partner synergy passive. Yeah, so increased defender speed by 5. Like I said, I don't know if this is for the whole team or only for Asta and Julius, but Julius is not a defender, so only Asta. And increased damage dealt 10%. Okay, now the skill page add-on, skill addition on the skill 2. Inflicts a mobility depletion debuff on a designated enemy and 60% chance to inflict a 10% reduced mobility debuff on all enemies except the designated target. So the skill 2 did not change. Now the passive. The passive did change. It has a restriction now, which I don't like. If an enemy has a debuff, grant yourself a 10% to 25% increased all attack buff for 1 turn. Does not stack. I don't know how. I don't know why they did this. Why is there a restriction? I hope it does not fuck him up that much, but you have to see. Okay, the level 125 passive is increased crit rate 30% and increased all attack 20%. Same as for all SSR attackers. Alright, that was Julius, and now let's go for Licht. So Licht, green attacker, he's coming out after Julius, after 7 days when Julius released. So skill 1 is single target, attacks after granting an increased crit rate level 2 buff. This did not change. Skill 2, attacks after granting an increased crit rate level 2 or level 4 buff. Depends on if you have the skill page on him or not, like his skill page. And attacks after granting a death pen level 2 buff. and he has an add-on, attacks a defender after granting 30% increased damage dealt buff. This is new. Again, I guess for PvE purposes. Okay, now his ult, his AoE, attacks after granting an increased crit rate level 3 buff. So yeah, he's going to crit like a truck. Okay, now his passive did not change. When HP is below 30%, grants immortality for 1 turn, once per battle. However, his passive did change. Now it is crit damage plus 12% instead of 10 previously. And his LR plus 5 is crit damage plus 25%. Before it was 20%. So they buffed him a little bit. Alright. His partner skill with everyone is 20% chance to attack after granting 20% increased damage dealt buff. There are no infos about Raya, about his partner skill with Raya, so yeah, that's unknown right now. Also, the partner synergy passive is unknown as well. But I believe it will be very, very strong. Okay, so when the skill page is on, he gets on a skill 2, inflicts buff immunity on an enemy for 2 turns upon landing a crit. So yeah, no buffs for the enemy anymore. And the passive, they did change this as well, but I believe it is better now. I think it's better. Yeah, it's way better than before, because before it was attack and now it is magic attack. I don't understand why it was attack before, but now we got magic attack. So upon landing a crit, grant yourself a 3 or 6% increased magic attack buff, and it stacks up to 3 times. Really good, really good. Okay, and his level 125 passive is increased crit rate 30% and increased all attack 20%, like for every other attacker, SSR attacker. Yeah, that's it. Now we have this one. I just wanted to talk about this because the pity transfers over, and you have to use the yellow tickets for Julius. So I would say get Lotus, get Lotus, get Yami, and then start to save up for Julius, because you will need him. You will need him 100%. He's a must-have. For PvP, for PvE, he's really good. You need him. Alright. So that's it. That's it for the video. I hope you liked it. If you do so, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And one more thing, join my Discord server. I'm posting every Chinese BCM news on my server. I'm posting leaks, the new kits, the translation of the kits on my server, so be sure to join the Discord server. And I think that is everything. Oh yeah, one more thing. So Mimosa is coming out on the 12th at reset time. Asta is coming out on the 19th at reset time as well. And Julius is coming out on the 26th at reset time. And Licht is on the 3rd of December at reset time as well. And then after Licht, it is nothing. So yeah, that's the schedule for the whole season. On the 18th, we are getting a patch. Yeah. On the 17th or 18th, I don't know, I forgot. 17th or 18th. But then, yeah. Okay. And one more thing, with the release, I think, with the release of Julius, we are also getting frame challenge. So we are getting a lot of content. Alright guys, see you.